What's going on, guys? It's your boy King David, and I'm back at it with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about a couple things, and we're going to get right into it. It's going to be about semen retention, like I usually talk about, and the reasons why it's important to be doing it, the reasons why it's going to help you on your fitness journeys as well, guys, and what I've learned from doing the journey. So, like I said before in some of my other videos, is that it's going to take you time. It's going to take grace for you to be able to go on those longer streaks. Some people have it a little bit better than other people. But we're going to talk about fitness first, guys. If you're trying to achieve a lean physique like how I am, guys, you got to understand that if you've done stuff in the past, say you drink before in the past, say you smoked before in the past, say you were, bigger because of this, guys, like say if you were more on the heavier side, like I always talk about, like my weight change. I was 245 pounds at one point in my life. And I remember just looking at myself in the mirror. I deleted those photos, guys. But I remember looking at myself in the mirror, guys. And, I was fat, guys. Like, I was a fat guy. I'm not going to lie. Being at my height and being that weight, you're pretty fat. So, when you do lose the weight, guys, like how I lost the weight, was I mostly was walking. I got into the gym more often. Even after work, I would go to the gym. So yeah, that's good. That's good to, stay consistent with your workouts, with what you're doing, guys, in order to lose the weight. Also sticking to a diet. Like typically what I normally eat is I'll eat bananas, I'll eat apples, I'll have celery, I'll have cucumber, I'll have fish, I'll have rice, I'll have chicken occasionally. I don't really like eating chicken too much. I like fish the most. I'll eat beef sometimes, I'll eat steak sometimes, guys, if I really feel up to it. But I try to really just keep it down to these staples, guys. I'll eat cheese and other things. But you'll notice once you get to my level, right? Because right now I'm weighing about 186, 187. And that's a dramatic change. That's about 60 pounds of lost, right? So as you can tell, my arms have a pretty decent size. My chest is being built. I wanted to take it a step further. Because if you want to look your best, you have to always go beyond what you are normally doing. To go beyond what you're normally doing is going to take that extra effort. What I've noticed since I started to run, guys, and I started to increase my cardio, that is easier to run. Even with clothing on, it's easier to run. It takes a little bit of time. I mean, it didn't take me very long because I was already in decent shape, guys. But to get that conditioning up, it takes about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe even a month for some people, guys, of just consistency, right? Doing the runs back to back, right? Days. Even when you don't feel like you want to do a run, sometimes you don't feel like you want to go outside and do a run. I never really liked running too much, guys. I never really liked, doing too much cardio. Some cardio was better than others to me. I would say bicycling was better, in my opinion. But it doesn't, bicycling is good if you have a road bike. If you have a nice bicycle and you're really trying to go in, that's probably the best way to trim down and stay super super lean. If you're really intense with it, guys, some guys aren't really going as intense. If you're using a fixed gear bike but it's a road bike and you're biking miles every day and you're eating right, guys, it's definitely gonna impact how you look. So here's the thing, guys. You want to fill out. A lot of guys, they get to a certain size in their fitness journey, whether if they're losing weight or they're gaining weight, guys, they get to a certain size and then they end up saying, hey, you know, I look pretty good. I can appreciate the body that I have. Like right now, I can appreciate how far I've come. Sorry for the airplane, guys. Hold on for 1 second. So yeah, you can appreciate the body that you've accomplished to, you know, you can appreciate the body that you've like created for yourself. You did the work, you worked out, pretty consistent. But once you reach that level of where you're at, like say, like for instance, for me, this is the level that I'm at. Like I'm pretty satisfied with where I'm at, guys. But being satisfied is not what you really, if it's not really what you want, don't give up. You have to go beyond that. You have to go beyond what you would say, okay, I look good, but now it's time to go, I look excellent, right? I look beyond good. I look beyond great. I look like, whoa, like this guy, like somebody would walk up to you and be like, dude, what do you do? What kind of exercises are you doing to achieve that physique? Now, I used to say, like in some of my videos before, like life goes by pretty fast and, you know, don't really worry too much about your body. It's like, yeah, for sure. You don't necessarily have to worry so much about your body, guys. Like not everybody's going to go to that next step. I feel like that is that extra work that a lot of people aren't going to end up doing. They're okay with how they are, you know. The size that I'm at, the weight that I'm at, I would be okay with how I am, right? I'm a little bit bigger and more like muscular than the average guy. I walk into a room, I can turn heads, right, guys? That's good enough for some people. But since like my previous like look, I did more than turn heads, guys. Like when you're leaner, when you're like 165, 170, guys, and you're lean, you got those abs, you're cut, you take off your shirt, and girls are really just like almost drooling, guys. You know what I mean? Hold on, guys. You want the girls drooling, guys. You want the girls go like, whoa, okay, dang, like this guy puts in some work. You know what I mean? This guy is not just like just lifting. Like this guy is really, really going into the next level. When you get older, I don't know how, like some of my guys on the channel here that watch my channel, they're usually older guys. They're about my age, right? When you get older, guys, it becomes more difficult. And say if like you had drank like how I've drank, I don't drink heavy, guys, but I'm just saying like when you drink and you eat a decent amount of food and you get to that size and you aren't really taking care of your body, it's that much more difficult to get into shape and stay in shape. I remember there were times I'd be going to the gym when I first started the gym and I'm like huffing and puffing, guys, huffing and puffing, trying to get in and out of the car, trying to maneuver around, guys, like just doing basic stuff sometimes, walking up some steps, you were huffing and puffing, right? Some of these things, you're like, dude, what happened to me? Like, how did I get to this level of like out of shape, right? Then you look at the things that you did in the past and you look at some of the places that you used to go to and some of the beers and stuff that you used to drink and you realize like, okay, yeah, that would be the reasons why I was at that weight, guys. When you break free from that, and you really lock in, because a lot of guys, they be saying like, oh, lock in, and they don't really be locking in. People be thinking like, oh, I lock in the gym. It's like, nah, man, like real locking in is when you can go to the beach, guys, and you take off your shirt. You've been working out for 3 consistent months after you've already like gained the physique, like a decent physique, and you've been working out 3 consistent months and just really clean, strict diet, really clean, strict eating. You know, occasionally you might eat something else, but you really cut it back, guys. Like, you made it to where it's like, okay, now I look phenomenal, right? To look like that and at the beach, and you take off your shirt and girls go, whoa, okay, dang, like this guy looks good. You know, better than good, better than everybody at the beach, right? You want to look better than everybody that's around you. Not necessarily bigger or more muscular than everybody, but you want to like try to strive to be like that guy that would be on a magazine cover, right? Now, obviously, magazine cover also involves like facial structure and whatnot, and look and appearance and stuff. I don't think there would be somebody like me on a magazine cover, maybe, possibly, but like the dreadlocks would probably have to go, the beard would have to probably be shaven, you know what I mean, for me to really kind of be on a magazine cover, guys. Like they don't really like promote guys with dreadlocks. But I'm just saying like from a standpoint of unless you're like a football player or something, from a standpoint of having that physique, right? Having that physique that everybody goes, whoa, okay, yeah, that's crazy. This guy is like put into work. They don't know how much work it takes to achieve that, guys. Like that's like the next level of work, especially if you've gone from a certain weight to a different weight, and then you want to implement, you know, different exercises. But as you age, guys, you have to like really like dial it in to a further extent. Like when you were younger, when I was like 25, guys, when I was 25, I could slip up. I could eat a Domino's pizza, a couple of those. I could freaking drink, you know, a 6-pack of beers. I could, you know, knock back a couple shots and chill and not really do much, right, guys? My diet was not like legitly like on track. It was not about like eating just the same kind of like foods consistently, right, guys? Now it's like if I started to do that, it would definitely show on my physique, right? I wouldn't have as much cuts. I wouldn't have as much definition in the arms. I would have a bigger belly. My face would even be fatter, guys. Like that's a telltale sign if somebody is really lean or not, is how like thin their face is, right? See, like right now, guys, my face is not like super slim, but that's understandable. There's still a work in progress. And when you do what you have to do, it's going to take time. Whatever you do, it takes time, guys. So, keep that in mind when you're trying to achieve a set goal. Because being just good or just great is great, but getting to that next level and pushing yourself and striving yourself to get to that next level, if you feel like you're inclined to do that, then go for it, guys. Because I'm not preaching to you guys and telling you like, hey, get up off your butts and do this. Like, I'm not saying like, why are you not, and you know, bagging on anybody, guys. Like, hey, you know, we all have our seasons, we all have our time, we all have like the ability to achieve this goal. You know what I mean? To achieve like a good physique in our body, on our bodies, right? It just depends on how much effort you're going to put into that. You know, and never let anybody else, like, this is kind of a little bit off topic, but never let anybody else try to tell you that you can't achieve said goal. Because I remember when I was just eating out and I wasn't working out, I wasn't doing any of those things, guys. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was just lollygagging around in life, guys. I mean, yeah, I had a job. Yeah, I was, still, a part of society, and people still like were cool with me. It's kind of weird. Like, people were more cool with me back when I was kind of like fatter, guys. But then once you get lean and ripped and you look like chiseled and stuff, they're like, whoa, oh, hold on. What's going on? You know what I mean? Not that, like, if you have a decent, like, cool personality, guys, like, a lot of people, it's about your energy. A lot of people aren't going to say anything bad to you. Like, there's still always going to be those people who are just going to just talk shit to everybody in life. But if you're like a cool, chill guy, and that's your vibe that comes off, most people aren't gonna like say bad things to you. They're like chill with you to begin with. And if you're like bigger, they're not gonna say like, hey man, like you should hit that gym or something like that. Sometimes they just look at you and be like, hey man, let's hang out, right? When you get leaner and you get more ripped, most of the time people aren't going to say much to you guys. Like, that's just the reality. Like, they're not going to say anything. And I've noticed what I've noticed is it depends on the person. Like, some people are really chill, really cool. I've noticed when I say, like, when I walk past some girls, right? This is just like, pointing out the facts here. I walk past some girls, and some girls are like really friendly. They want to talk. They want to chat. Now, if they're good looking, guys, you have to understand that they have something else. They have something that's going on in their life. Maybe they already have a husband. Maybe they already have, a place they needed to go, or something that they needed to do. But it's about your energy too. Like, are you are you staring at her in a way, like a lustful way, guys? That's what I'm talking about with the semen retention, guys. Say if you did look good, right? You got the body. You got the look, you smell good, everything looks right. She looks good too. The only way, here's the thing, guys, like, the only way you're going to be able to pull that girl, right, is if you engage in a conversation. But she has to be genuinely interested in you. She has to show some interest. And you can tell when a girl is showing interest. Like, they know, like, your energy. So I don't want to get too much into that, because I want to talk more about, just the fitness in general. If you increase your fitness, you go to the extreme, they're going to come up to you. They're going to want to talk to you more. Because this is what a girl thinks in her mind, guys. You're fit. They're like, okay, that guy, he's fit. He looks good. He's got a nice size. He's got nice, physique. He probably takes care of himself. He has a nice, outfit on. He, his hygiene's up to date. Okay, he looks pretty good. Now, if you're a belly, like my belly, right? My belly's kind of like, it's got a little bit of pudge on it, guys. I'm not afraid to admit that. You know what I mean? If your belly has a little bit of pudge on it, and it's not like fat, it's not like a big round, like full-on beer belly, guys. Like, it's just like a little excess, right? That little bit of excess, guys, that, like, okay, you're not fat, obviously. You're very fit, but you're not exceptionally fit, right? Where you're just like washboard abs, like shredded to the bone, where you just look like, whoa, you know what I mean? That's the reaction, is what I'm trying to get at here, guys. Is like, the girl, she's gonna like look at you and she's gonna be like, okay, yeah, this guy has got probably a good regimen going on. He probably does like, a decent amount of exercise. But here's the thing. Just like how we look at women look at men the same kind of way. If you see a girl and she looks pretty good, right? She's got everything going on. She's got the nice butt. She's got nice breasts. She's got a nice, a cute looking face. But then she's got like a belly, right? We're like, well, everything looks pretty solid except for the belly, right? Except for the belly. We always kind of just point out the one little flaw. And it sticks out more because you already have all the other features, right? That's the reality of it. It's going to stick out a little bit more because that's the one section of your body that isn't all the way there. It's close, but it isn't all the way there, right? So, when you finally reach that look, that desired look, that physique, got the washboard abs, you got the, it's tightened up, you tighten up the remainder of what you got to do. You lose that little excess amount of fat. That's when people and women are really going to start coming up to you and asking you like, hey, what do you do for your exercises? How do you I want to look like you. How do you achieve said goal, right, guys? Like I said, it's that little extra bit of work. It's that little extra over the top work. Now, it is the fitness. It is the diet too, of course. A lot of the times people are lacking on the diet. And it is about how much sleep you're taking in too, guys. So those are the three, but we'll get right down to I'm sorry, I was thinking about something, guys. You know me, I like to ramble. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water and we'll continue. So I'm going to talk about the diet, right, guys? We'll get right into that part first. Diet. I never really use the word diet. When I say diet, I'm just talking about just foods that you would normally eat, guys. I don't look at it as in like a diet, as in like you need to restrict your eating. You should never restrict what you're eating, guys. A lot of guys think that you should. Unless you're doing a fast, right? Like I talk about fasting, but don't restrict what you're eating. It's not about eating less. It's about doing more most of the time. So eat the same amount of foods that you normally eat. Eat till you're full. Eat till you have enough on your plate. Eat when you are hungry. Sometimes you might need to eat when you're not hungry. That's okay, guys. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. If you want to lose that excess stuff, like I talk about on my channel now, and I've said before in the past, you got to stop drinking. The drinking, it stores into your body. You got to stop taking pharmaceuticals too, guys. Like if you're taking a lot of medicines, just realize some of those medicines, like I used to take some stuff for bipolar. I'm not diagnosed with bipolar, guys. Like a lot of people are, they have mental health problems and things like that, guys. Back when people used to think that I had bipolar, like family members and some of the friends that I've told, it's like, and back when I used to think that I had it too, guys, I was taking medicines, all different sorts of medicines, guys. That stuff gets lodged and trapped in your body. And it doesn't ever really it does come out, obviously, guys. You have to flush it out. But it takes a while to come out of your system. That's one of the ways I got up to 245 pounds. Like, this is a bit of the backstory here, guys. When you get off that stuff, and especially when you get off the alcohol, guys, you have a lot of stuff that you got to purge out of your body. You got a lot of excess things that have been trapped in your body. So when you're purging things out of your body, and what we talk about is, eating clean, you want to make sure you are obviously getting the right amount of water in, but you want to add like a lemon to it, right? You want to squeeze a lemon into the water. Because back when I was like trying my hardest to lose the weight, I would be like doing all these different like techniques and stuff. And I was like, why can't I lose the weight? The drugs that they have nowadays, it messes with your hormones. It messes with like the way you interact on the day-to-day basis. And that's the reason why it's so difficult to lose some of the weight for some people, right, guys? So when you stop taking these medicines, hopefully you can, you know what I mean? Always work with your doctors and stuff and make sure, like, if you really do have bipolar issues, it's best to, you know, work with your doctors and understand like what you can and can't do, or get on different medications that might be able to help you lose some of the weight, right? This is what's going to happen. Because you can still lose the weight while being on the... I lost the weight while still taking that medication, guys. Like, it's still possible to do that. But I'm just saying it helps if you get something that is probably less, you know, less able to make you gain the weight, right, guys? Of course, you're not supposed to eat exactly as much, right? You are supposed to cut back a little bit, but it's not about like engulfing yourself. It's about kind of eating when you're supposed to eat. Having like 3 meals a day is decent, but you don't always have to have 3 meals a day. You don't have to always hit your protein goals, guys. You don't have to always hit your carbohydrate goals. You don't have to always do this, guys. Like, I think a lot of guys, they think like, I need to get a gram of protein per pound of body fat. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not going to sit here and say like, hey, like, don't do that, you know? But realistically, most people aren't doing that. Most people aren't able to achieve that without like a protein powder or some other form of like you got to be eating a lot of food, and you have to be eating it pretty often to make, you know, my body weight, right? Basically in protein. That's a lot of food. And not everybody has time to eat that much food and exercise on top of that, guys. So you have to be realistic with what you do. You have to just eat clean. And whenever you do eat, try to eat as clean as possible. Right, guys? Eating, you know, something, going for the best possible option at the time in the moment, right, is the best way to look at it. So if you want a amazing physique, and say if you don't have the money for it, right? Or say if you do have the money for it, right, guys? Even if you do have the money for it, to like buy like a decent meal, right? A decent, like, you know, grocery list for making like decent meals, guys, is what I mean. Try to go with the cleaner options. Try to go with something that is a little bit easier for your body to digest, right? It's all about how quick it comes out. Obviously, that sounds kind of gross, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you don't want things to be trapped in your body. The more fruits, the more vegetables, the more complete meals was what you want to go for. And you don't necessarily need to eat 3 meals. Like I say, like, eating 3 meals is good, but that's more if you're like trying to bulk up. Say if you're trying to like cut back a little bit, or say if you're trying to get leaned out, you can stick to 1 meal a day and still stay the same body weight. You just got to eat 1 solid good meal a day. You know, maybe you'll eat 2 meals a day. Maybe you might need to eat more than that. It depends on how much exercise you're doing, guys. Like, I feel like relying on your intuition and knowing when to eat is probably the best answer for majority of people that they think, or majority of people. Like, you would think that, like, okay, I need to like cut back on this or cut back on that, or count this or count that, guys. That's too much. That's too much for most people to do. I mean, you can use like an app. I think my brother told me that some time ago, and yeah, for sure, like, that'll help you. But reality is, if you don't have the budget, right? Say if you don't have the budget, or say if you don't have the time to make the food, work with what you got, man. Work with whatever you have, and understand that, like, the goal is not to fast away the weight. It'll help to go on fast. The goal is to put more work in, use what's readily available in the kitchen, and staying consistent with both, right? Staying consistent with the exercises is probably the most important thing. There's some times when I look in the mirror and I look way better than I would on other days, right? Our body fluctuates all the time. If you stick to the same things though, like buying just the same foods is what I mean, guys. Like, that's when you notice the most results. That's when you're going to notice the most results, guys. And, talking about semen retention, like I'll get into it. This video is going to be a little bit longer than others. So the reason why I preach about semen retention, and I'm eventually not going to really be calling it retention anymore, because everybody, it's like an overused word. I think that there's too much people talking about it in the community with, you know, just blowing it too much into proportion. It's something that a man should already be doing by himself, right, guys? Semen retention, here's the thing, guys. Like, the reason why it's good for your fitness journey is because of the testosterone that you're going to gain from it. If you want to go hard in the gym, if you want to get better gains, if you want to look better, if you want that slimmer body, that slimmer, more, you know, tucked in face, lose the excess fat, stay on track, guys. You know what I mean? With your numbers and achieving, you know, the V-taper body, losing the excess fat, you got to have higher testosterone, right? So the higher your testosterone is, the easier it is for you to achieve these goals, right? So if you're releasing a lot, guys, it doesn't mean that like you still can't achieve said goal. You can still like release and still achieve the dream physique body, but it's harder, right? It's harder to do it, especially when you're older, because it takes a lot of time to build up that minerals and vitamins and stuff like that that you lose through releasing. Retention also, it's not just the testosterone part, guys. It's like retention also gives you that discipline, the sexual discipline, that lust, the discipline over lust. So, okay, yeah, if you have the body, they say you already have the exceptional body, right? You've achieved the exceptional body look, but you're still releasing, guys. You're still watching the content. You know, you're still lusting. You're going to the gym. Okay, you're looking around and you see a girl with a nice big booty. Okay, yeah, she's hot. You want to go up to her and talk to her. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you can if you want to, guys, but I'm just being honest with you. If you're just truly locked in, like if you were there to go and work out and you weren't there to like go work out and look at booty, you get what I'm saying, guys? Like, it's going to obviously, sorry, it's obviously going to make you more attractive because you don't have those wandering eyes, guys. When you retain, you don't have those wandering eyes. The center, you are kind of like the center of attention, you know? It's you're going in. Now, obviously, don't go in there with like, there's some guys who do go into the gym with a hoodie and stuff. That's cool. You know, maybe you want to be left alone that day. That's fine. But if you go into the gym and you're dressed in like a regular outfit, you know, maybe a tank top, maybe just a regular tee, like how this is, it's fine too. You can walk in with this if you want to. But I'm just saying, just go in with, usually a gym attire is better than this. This is more like, you know, hanging around the house or going out, maybe just regular clothing. But what I'm trying to say is go in. Don't focus so much on the physical body, like looking at your body. A lot of guys will spend time like looking at their body in the mirrors and stuff, guys. Don't worry about that. Go in, do the stuff that you meant to do. You're on this journey. You're on the journey to improve yourself. So go in, do the exercise, lift the weights. Don't be looking at girls, man. Like, really, don't be looking at girls unless she's like directly, like you're lifting weights and you like drop your weights, you get up and her booty's like right in your face. Like, I mean, come on, that's she's like curling in front of you, but like she wants you to like, or the gym's so crowded, obviously she's right there because there's no other place to stand. But let's say if she's like directly trying to get your attention, that's a bit different, guys. But what I'm trying to say here is, You want to be focused on what you're doing when you're in the gym. You want to be focused on what you're doing when you're out in public. You want to have that iron will, that will to stay on course on what you're doing. Eye on the prize, right? Keep your eyes on the prize, on what you're trying to achieve. You know, whatever that goal is, that's why you're out there in the first place. You're doing that for that reason. You're not out there to do that and also look for, you know, attention from people or girls or whatever, guys. So when you do work out, or when you do try to achieve that set goal, it's going to keep you more focused when you are not releasing and watching the content, guys. Because if you're looking at that content, say if it's even like just girls, you know, it's better if you like looking at a girl like this is in a bikini or whatever, guys. All right, that's fine. Like, you're on Instagram, you see that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is, like, if you limit yourself to like basically none, to nil to none, it's not on your mind. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Is what a lot of people say, right, guys? If it's not on your mind, when you go out, your mind's focused on other things, which makes you less lustful. Because seeing some girl in a bikini, that's gonna make you a bit lustful. You're gonna be like, dang, like, I want to see that in real life. Now you're out in public looking for that. Like, no. Like, don't go out in public looking for that, or go to the beach just to look at females. Like, that almost is kind of like what do they say? A creep, a stalk, not a stalker. A stalker is a bit crazy, but that's not what my channel is about, and I don't really talk about other people in weird ways. But I'm just saying, like, you're looking at people like you're like a spy, like you're spying, like not spying. I don't know exactly the word that I'm looking for, guys, but you get what I'm saying, guys. Like, you're not supposed to be like deliberately doing that. You get what I mean, guys? Now, I know this video is long, and I touched on both the topics. I touched on fitness, I touched a little bit on diet, and I touched on, you know, semen retention and why it helps with your fitness journey, guys. So, I mean, I covered all bases on this, guys. Just remember that when you retain, that's going to naturally happen. You're going to naturally just be drawn into yourself more than other people. It's not like you don't care about other people. It's just that you're so locked in on what you need to do and how you need to get there now that you are like, look, man, like, I don't have time. Okay, this girl in front of me, she has a nice body. For sure, you admire it. And it's not like you're not going to look. You're a guy. But that's in person. That's different. That was like kind of meant for you to happen. That might even motivate you to go a little bit harder than what you did before, right, guys? But if you're looking at it at home and you're struggling to get away from it, like I've talked about the content, guys, that's when you know it's like you haven't transcended it yet. And that's okay, guys. Don't feel bad. Like I said, don't feel bad if you have the pudge. Don't feel bad if you are still struggling with the content. Don't feel bad about being openly admitted on what the things that you still need to improve on. I think some guys, they feel like when they post a video, they have to like be this perfect human being. We're not, guys. Like, that's the reality. You know? Focus on, you know, improving yourself in every day, and every day that you get better. That's what you should be looking at, right, guys? Okay, I went like I was talking about last video. I know I always bring up my last videos, but if you made it a couple days without that, you've been staying on track with your fitness journey. Okay, that's good. Respect that. You know, I'm gonna definitely admit that, like, if you're consistent into something a little bit, then yeah, that's growth. Growth means whatever you learn from that stays with you for the rest of your life. So, you know, keep going, guys. Just keep working at it. Stay on your journeys, guys, like I always say. Peace out and have a blessed day. I know I said a lot, but hey, that's what it's gotta be.